Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Grid of Details Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. We can manage the section from two places, the blocks on the left sidebar and the section settings. Let's start with those block settings. When we click on an item, we have some content fields. In here, we can add an image for the grid, which is this one. We can add a title, text block, which is visible in here, button label, a button link, and an image from the details block. Okay, let's add some content. Let's say we're promoting some cookies, and we want to point out the details of those cookies. And we can start, let's say, that these cookies are real cocoa. Okay, and in here we can put something like, we always use real cocoa. Button label, we can add something custom in here, but if we don't want to use a button, we can just remove this, and that's it. Okay, let's add an image for the details block. Let's put some chocolate. Okay, cool. Let's add more content to the other items. I'm going to speed up this process. Okay, now that we have some content on the items, let's go to the section settings. And in here, we have a title and a text block. Let's say in here, we can put something like, our famous cookies are back. And in here we can put the favorite chocolate cookie. It's ready for you. Okay. Now in here we have some section styling. In here we can add a background to the whole section. Maybe we can add something like this. Okay. And in here we have full width or regular width. When it's on regular width, this right here controls the width of the whole section. Okay, but when it's on full width, this controls the content inside the full width section. So let's say I want something like this. Okay, that looks good. We can also add a section border radius, which is also good when we have it as regular. Let's say we have it like this. We can add border radius to look like this. Okay, but on this example, I really like the full width, so I'm going to keep it as full width, and this right here. Okay, now we have some section text styling settings. We have the text alignment, which is right now on center. We can put it left, right. Okay, but right now I like it center. We have margins, bottom margin for the whole section, top padding. Let's say we want some more top padding. Okay, cool. And at the bottom as well. Cool. Now, let's go to the section title settings. In here, we can change the color. Let's say we want something like this. Okay. And we can also adjust the font size, the fonts. Okay, right now, I like it a little bigger. We can put something like that. Okay, and we can also adjust the line height. The line height controls the distance between the letters when they're stacked. Let's say we have some more content in here, like this. Maybe in here is 2 lines, okay? So in here we control that distance between those letters, okay? But right now we can put something around here, and just in case, something like this, okay? Now, the letter spacing controls the distance between the letters horizontally. So let's say I want something like this, a little more spaced out. We can control it there. I really like the default settings like this, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, and down here we have the text area styling, which is this text. Let's say we also want a dark color. But on this one, I want to use a custom font. We can toggle this, Okay, and from here we can select our font. Let's say I want this one. Okay. If you have another font on your theme on your store, you can also use this custom font family name. Let's say you want to use a Helvetica, you can put here Helvetica, and you will see that font in here. But for now, I'm gonna leave it with the custom fonts, okay? And we have here the font size, like this, okay? And for me, that looks good. Let's say maybe a little space, okay? And some margin at the bottom to give it more room between the text and the items. Okay, on the grid styling, we can control the placement of the grid items and also the placement of the image. Right now, by default, it's on right, so we can put left, or we can keep it on the right side. Okay, we can also control the width of the grid. If you want to make it smaller, we can control it here. But let's say we want this to be 60%, because we want to emphasize the details on the items. We can also control the gap in here between the items and the details, so we can control it with this range. We also have the numbers of cells in a row. By default, it's 4, but you can put 3, okay, or you can put up to 10, okay. But for this example, I like it 4, and we also control the gap, horizontal gap between the items like this. Now, let's go to the grid item settings. Oh, by the way, all the settings have a mobile settings as well. So to toggle these settings, you can click in here, and you will see those styling. Let's say this one is the placement of grid. Right now, as default, it's at the bottom, but we can put it at the top. Okay? I really like at the bottom for mobile, so I'm going to keep it like this. So any settings that you see here that says mobile, to toggle it, click in here. Okay, let's go to the grid item styling. We have some settings in here. We have the item border width, which right now is 0, but if we add a border, let's say like this, we can add something like 2 pixels, okay? We also control the title color, background color, border color. Let's say these boxes, I want them to be dark, with a dark border, okay? And the background color, I really like maybe white, to be all like this. The border color, let's say we want to be blue. Okay, now these settings are for the active item. So right now the item, it's white, so we can change this to be maybe like green or something. Okay, so that's how you control that active state. You can toggle that option in here. If that option is not toggled, it will only be for hover. But right now, by default, we have it to active to highlight that item on the left. We also have border radius. So let's say we want something like this. We can control it there. And also the item image dimensions. We have some options. Let's say I wanted landscape. You can use it like this. In this case, because these images are square, maybe they're better to be like this, square. Or you can also use original, which in this case is the same. Okay, you can also control separately the image border radius. And in here, you also have the padding. Let's say top padding, bottom padding. Okay. But I really like it without top padding, like this. And the bottom padding, that's fine. I like it like this. We also have separate styling settings for the title. In here, you can select custom font if you want, font size, the top padding of the title. Let's say you wanted something like this to give it more room. You can adjust it in here. Down here, we have the details block styling. In here, we have a background color, Let's say we want this to be dark. Okay? So we can control it there. And the text alignment, we can put it left, center, right. Also, we have the details block image. Because all these images are not the same dimensions, you can adjust them in here to all of them to be the same. For example, if I put here square, all your images will be square. And then you can also adjust the width of the image inside the block, but maybe at 100% looks better. Down here we have the styling for the title. This controls this title on the details block. So let's say we want it to be white. Maybe I want it to be a little bigger. Cool. Down here we have the text area styling. Let's say we want something like this. That looks better. Okay, now down here we have the details block button styling. Some of these items don't need a button, but on some of them I added it. For example, I want the customers to know more about organic. Right now it's down here. You don't see it because it's the same color as the background. So let's style that button. First of all, let's change the text color. And now we can also select the border color. Okay, way better. Let's say we want to be a little bigger. We can add it here, maybe not so big. You can also control the padding, which is the space inside the button. That's horizontal, and you can also adjust the vertical one. Also, the border width and the border radius, you can also adjust it in here, maybe like this. I really like it. I added the colors for the button, but we also have the hover colors. Let's say I want it to be white, blue, and the border color to be also white. Okay, cool. And that's it. Thank you again, and if you have any questions or run into any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via the support page on our website. Take care.